You know that feeling, right? That deep down fear of the end of the world? It's everywhere, in movies, books, you name it. But what if the end isn't really an end at all? What if it's something totally different? The source material we're digging into today has a completely different take on this, and it might just change how you see everything.
Okay, let's just get right to it. The big one. Is the world coming to an end? Well, according to this philosophy, the answer is, yeah, it is. But it's almost certainly not what you're picturing, not even close.
And this is where things get really interesting. The source asks us to stop thinking about a terrifying terminus, a destructive, fiery apocalypse, and instead think about a concept called returning to the origin. So instead of a violent finale, it's more like a natural, purposeful homecoming. It's not really an end, it's a conclusion.
So, a homecoming? Returning to an origin? That, makes you ask the obvious question, a return from where? And why are we even here in the first place? Well, that leads us to this philosophy's very unique idea about what Earth's real job is in the grand scheme of things.
The source doesn't pull any punches. It says, we are on Earth because we are sinners. It's like a prison. As long as there are prisoners, the prison cannot disappear. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds incredibly harsh, right? But hold on, because the entire meaning of this hinges on a very, very specific definition of the word sinner.
See, in this context, being a sinner has nothing to do with being a bad person or breaking some ancient rule. Nope, it's more of a physics thing. It just means a soul that's carrying around impure, heavy energy that needs to be cleansed. Think of it less like a moral judgment and more like a spiritual density that's literally weighing you down and keeping you here. To scale this idea up, the source uses this really powerful metaphor. Imagine the entire universe is one single, living body that's gotten sick. And we, with all our heavy, impure energy, are like the ailing cells making it sick. So from this point of view, our purpose here isn't about punishment at all. It's about healing. By healing ourselves, we actually help heal the whole cosmic body.
Okay, so that's a pretty big job, right? Heal the universe. So, how are we supposed to do that exactly? Well, this brings us to what the source calls the path to purification.
And right off the bat, the source makes one thing crystal clear. This is not about joining a specific church or following a certain dogma. The path it lays out is presented as a universal process, something anyone can do, anywhere, no matter what they believe.
This path is all about action, and it's deeply connected to other people. Let's break it down into 4 steps. Step 1, you have to engage with the people around you. Step 2, you learn and grow from those interactions. Step 3, and this is the big one, you take what you've learned and you use it to do work that helps all of humanity. And the result? Step 4, your energy just naturally becomes lighter.
This quote just wraps it all up perfectly. When you do work that broadly benefits people, your sins are extinguished, your energy becomes light, and you rise on your own. See? It's not about waiting for some outside force to come and rescue you. It's about you elevating yourself through your own actions, through service to others.
All right, so we get the why. We're here to heal. And we get the how, by helping people. But what does that final returning to the origin actually look like? This is how the universe hits the reset button, according to our source.
What's so wild is that it's not some sudden catastrophe. It happens in phases. It actually starts with phase 1, where humanity finally gets it right and creates a paradise on Earth, living in harmony. Then, in phase 2, all the purified souls ascend and stop coming back. It's only after everyone has gone home in phase 3 that the physical universe isn't needed anymore. And that's when phase 4, the final cleanup, can begin.
But when it's time for that final cleanup, you can forget everything you've seen in the disaster movies. The source is super clear. It's not a meteor, it's not a solar flare. It's handled by a kind of cosmic cleanup crew, a natural mechanism that's just built into the fabric of the universe. So what is this cosmic cleanup crew? Believe it or not, it's a black hole. But wait, forget the terrifying planet-eating monster from sci-fi. In this way of thinking, a black hole is basically the universe's natural vacuum cleaner. Its job is just to absorb, take apart, and recycle all the leftover physical stuff back into nature. It's not a monster, it's the janitor.
So you might be wondering, why do we have to do all this work just to return? Well, the source explains it with this number, 70%. The idea is that 70% of your soul, your pure original light energy, is already at the origin. What's here on Earth? Well, that's the other 30% that got weighed down with all that impure, heavy energy. So our entire purpose in life is just to purify this 30% so it can get light enough to automatically be pulled back home and rejoin the rest of ourselves.
Okay, this is all very grand and cosmic, right? Black holes, sick universes. But what does any of this mean for you and me today in our everyday lives? Well, that brings us to our mission, right here and now.
The big takeaway from all of this is actually pretty simple. First, don't waste your energy being afraid of the end. Instead, understand that a lot of our personal suffering comes from just not finding our real purpose. The answer isn't to look up at the sky in fear, but to look at the people right in front of you and figure out how to help. The mission is to live a joyful life, because that joy is its own paradise. And the Source leaves us with a promise. After hardship, joy will surely come. This is the law of God.
And look, if you've ever felt kind of lost or like you're just spinning your wheels in life, this final quote might just hit you right where you live. You are in pain because you haven't found your work. You are in pain because you aren't doing what you are meant to do. It takes that huge cosmic purpose and connects it directly to that very real, very personal feeling of struggle we all have sometimes.
And so this whole journey, from a different kind of apocalypse all the way back down to our own personal mission, it really leaves us with one essential and maybe life-changing question to think about. What is your purpose in this life?